Okay.
He'd
Continue.
made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning.
So that's
The clouds parted
this
over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced.
Alright, we're
Or
back here.
so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden?
The what?
Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
View stories. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again. Actually, no. Let's build the Sky Ripper.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
So you're gonna be backtracking a lot through the areas
As
again.
he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
We'll see.
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Renato.
I can't seem to break anything in this level. Wow. 3 chests. Can make a nice sword soon.
I'll just have a dash, thought Renato.
Didn't pick up any gems. Oh, I can make a fire sword. Cost damage. Okay, so left and right. Change the sword. Okay. Energy is shared between swords.
Hey! Hey! I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Yeah, but there's this over here. Another chest. This sent me back here? Okay. My dash is now red.
Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
Oh. Ow. Ow. Well then. That's the first thing that's killed me. You have died. Good to know. That was a fast checkpoint. Oh, I'm not that far back.
Well, the eyes have had it.
Why do I only have half energy? Why are they off sync? Purple door here.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one. Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching.
Okay, what can I get? Kill your enemy with a sword when you grab them to cause damage. Eh. What's this? Attack reflexes. Attack enemies from a distance auto-activates when reaching a certain combo threshold. Sounds okay. Target an enemy with dash to move through them and cause damage. Does not work on shield enemies. Yeah. Shield hooking. That sounds useful.
This was way better than being able to shrink down to the size of an ant. What was that all about anyway?
How do I get over there? I guess I can't. Ah, I have to activate the blue door.
Can I borrow that?
That's how I get here. Read. The truth behind the Sky Ripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used the Sky Ripper to banish Iblis. Then the TE buried the weapon and vanished. Was it a self-imposed exile to rid the world of the last divine presence, or was it the price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Sky Ripper and Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My rituals will summon the Iblis stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will cause the Sky Ripper to resurface. If that is the case, I should spare no resources to find it. A weapon that could banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip, should the old ones decide to double-cross me. It is in their nature to try, but gods are predictable, and I can rely on that to always be one step ahead. Emperor Isengrim III Secret Journal. And I can't continue from here. So I have to go through this door. Can't go through anywhere else.
Ha! Bet you never saw that coming.
Anything else in here? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't even give me experience. Can't even get in there. Looks like there could be something in there, but I guess not.
I'm sorry. Was that your shield?
It's a puzzle.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Yeah, true. Ow.
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
Physical resistance gem. Alright. Guess it could be useful. Oh. Rare items that boost your capabilities. Yeah, good to know.
That had been his mistake before. Trusting his old friend Lapino, who had been through so many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What was up with that guy anyway?
Once, Renato had been to a dungeon where all the chests were locked. It was awful.
Oh, I skipped the puzzle by doing that. Alright, what do we got? Extra enemies. This seems okay, whatever it does. Hey, we found a thing. Interact.
There it was.
There it was.
Sky Ripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Let's get the other piece. What does it say? Found without the core, it would be just an empty shell and empty and useless shell. Maybe he goes to see Zenobia, who had invaded a city nearby. She was the Emperor's adopted daughter and greatest general, but she was also his old friend. Renato didn't know why, but he felt the urge to go see her. The only reason one would seek the armature was to build a legendary weapon that had once banished the lost gods. Obviously, Renato should get the core. Let's do that.
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
He's power hungry. Obviously, he had to get the
Doubt
core.
sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
So why is this thing following me? Any other chests hidden that I can get? Oh, that's a one-way trip. Oh well.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. They really needed to construct additional pylons.
Exactly. No. It puts me back over here. Okay, cool. Jump down. But there's a chest. Could probably make another sword soon. That seam right here. What's with the black square here? Untextured, I guess. Left or right? There's a chest this way, apparently.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
I can almost make another sword then. With the amount of materials I'm getting.
Did portals go through another universe? If so, could the lost gods use one of them to return from exile? Oh, the thought made him shiver.
I can't dash. I might have dashed into the enemy. That's might have been what happened.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
Pretty close to the next level. 2 fights. As long as I'm paying attention. As long as I'm paying attention. These fights aren't that big of a deal, I think. I might get the dash ability so I can actually dash through enemies. I think that's why I'm not able to dodge attacks, because I'm dashing into enemies.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there, this felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lupino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Nah, we're going down here. But what does it say? Skyripper was complete. The superweapon could put an end to the Emperor's madness. But had Reynardo assembled it correctly, would it work at the critical moment? Scientists at the Nexus would surely give answers. But would it work at the critical moment? Maybe it needed field testing. The Imperial outpost on the Nexus was the perfect target. Yeah, let's do that.
Reynardo had never been much of a student. At Swordfu School, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. And Zenobia. But weapons he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists, right?
Nah, it'd blow
exactly.
up in his face. That's what's gonna happen. What would the scientists know about this thing?
As he set out down the path, Reynardo wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction. It was all coming back to him. He wondered what he'd remember next.
He's learning. Sort of. I need a workbench or the other thing. Level up bench. Altar. Oh, there's one of them.
Reynardo felt a little better.
Okay. Alright. That'd be really helpful. Just like having the ability itself, not actually just having the ability. Or leveling it up, I mean. It's just being able to... Yeah, being able to dash through enemies is very helpful. Especially when I need to get away from that.
It was good to practice your moves, thought Reynardo. Keeps you limber. He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Skyripper. It made strange, mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum. The Sky Ripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
Sorry, mustache, thought Renato.
Oh. Okay, what can I make? Oh, gems. I did pick up a gem. 20% physical reduction? That's pretty nice. Okay, so that's max level. I can't make that. I can make... yeah, Winter Throne. That's all I can make. Alright. While attacking freeze enemies. What's the upgrade do, I wonder?
This sword from the frigid north was really useful for making popsicles and birdsicles.
Won't be needing that yet, really. Oh, I'm back here. So I need to open a door to get to that. Oh, new enemy. Is it gonna explode? Watch out for explosive ravens. When hit or thrown, they will explode after a few seconds. Use them to your advantage. Did my thing just shoot at him? Oh my god, my thing's shooting at stuff. I literally don't have to do anything.
The Sky Ripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them.
Doesn't look
Renato
like it.
had a thought. Please? He asked. The Sky Ripper began to glow.
Wait, did I die?
Boom! The outpost burst into flame.
Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far speaker toad came hopping out. Renato! It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia.
Don't use the Sky Ripper. It will destroy the world.
Yeah, sure it will, cracked Renato. Pull the other one.
If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras. He'll tell you the same thing.
Oh, she would say that. That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating.
Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Sky Ripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Alright, what do we got? Go see Calaveras. Sky Ripper turned out to be an amazing weapon. It was time to celebrate, but then Zenobia crashed the party. She claimed the Sky Ripper could destroy the world. Of course she was lying. Probably. But what if she wasn't? Calaveras was the final authority in legendary artifacts. Maybe Renato should head to the mountains and speak to Calaveras. Of course she was lying, probably. She was an enemy general. Of course she would be afraid of the Sky Ripper. You should bring the weapon to the rebel base and just win the war. Sounds good.
Just this once, he would not let Zenobia get into his head with her logic and her wisdom
Obviously.
and her appeals to reason. He was a fox. He'd go with his instincts, and it would all work out like it always did.
Exactly.
Oh, he was sounding like a reckless idiot, even to himself. But if there was one thing Renato could never bring himself to do, it was turn back on a decision he'd made.
We're going to kill everyone.
Imperials were flapping and cawing all around the ruins. They must be panicking with rumors flying of the superweapon. Maybe they hoped to find and destroy the base before he could put the Sky Ripper into action. The Sky Ripper was whining and heating up. It would be time to use that energy soon.
Which path did I take last time, though?
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
I think I took this path last time. Let's go this way. Ah. Got a lot of ores again.
This thing really needed a roof.
Really must be random what drops out of those chests. I was definitely not here before. Can't break that banner. So I can't make anything. At minimum I need 50 ores. And I still need the essence. A lot of them.
That was awesome!
I mean, I have enough essence now. Just need the ores. I think I want to save up my ores because I don't need the weapon
Once you
upgrades.
try it, you're hooked.
I just need the ability to open doors mostly. Ow. These pots are floating.
You're talking about this was a fantastic weapon. Ravens burst into flames with just a touch of its killer beam. He was tempted to leave it on all the time, but he didn't want to accidentally slice off some council toad's head or tongue. She'd been trying to distract him. Well, this time, no one was going to distract him.
Why is my
2 eyes good, 1 eye dead.
thing's not lasering them? It's a lot of eyes. Isn't there one more? There it is. Okay, there's nothing even in here.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Yeah, zap him. Ow. Got hit by the explosion. Out of everything. This ancient weapon, I was expecting it to just murder everyone. It's just kinda zapping people. And kinda slowly as well.
Ooh, what's there?
There's gotta be a gem, right? Yeah. Attack speed. Don't think attack speed's really that good, maybe.
As he headed towards the council chamber, Renato felt everyone watching him.
Everyone?
You've saved the rebellion, said the council speaker. Frankly, we were afraid you'd turn aside to save that idiot Lapino.
Not bloody likely, Renato told them, feeling he was maybe being a bit harsh on the poor mad rabbit.
If you never make sacrifices, he said, you're probably not doing the right thing. The speaker nodded. Are you ready to lead the charge? Let's roll, he said, with grim satisfaction. Renato set sail for the fleet. The Sky Ripper had lost its wine. It was humming now, as if it had taken some time to seat properly. He had always been irresponsible. This time, he'd done the right thing, made the hard decisions. He was a real hero. He hadn't let himself be distracted by old friends or old lovers turned enemies. Finally, he could be proud of himself.
He could be proud of himself. This is probably the last mission chapter before it kicks me
He
out.
was ready. So was Sky Ripper. The Sky Ripper had a will of its own. It picked out its own targets and set them on fire.
Yes, it
This
did.
was going to be a short battle. He would set the ships on fire if he
Spin to
didn't
win.
need them to get to the Emperor. And he wondered if he'd see Zenobia, or if she'd flee. Wouldn't she be proud of him? At least, a bit of respect. He'd become an all-conquering hero.
Oh, I got a gem. That's what this is about. How much attack speed? 10% attack speed? Not that good, I think. I don't think I can make anything. I'm very close to leveling this up to 2, but I don't need it. So I need 70. And like 8 more void gems. Oh, I still can't open this. Very close to leveling as well.
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want him to go.
Chest respawn. Oh, everything just died. Alright, what do I need? So I can't get this until Truth's unlocked. I don't really need that. I don't really need either of these either. Maybe I just max this out? Oh no, I maxed this out actually.
Well, he'd always wanted to do that.
I feel like the extra abilities on the sword are not that useful. Dashing is just so much better to break all those boxes, because you can only break one box at a time.
Don't look down, he thought.
I mean, the heal's nice, if anything. The rest are not. I don't feel like they're giving me more damage.
This was the craziest weapon he'd ever used. Or not.
Oh, another
There was a
message.
parchment on a signpost. It was from her.
Every time you fire, you risk the destruction of the universe. That's insane. We surrender. A trick? Maybe she really believed it. He could hear horns blaring the retreat. Maybe it was true. Maybe they had one.
It was like having a pet.
Why couldn't I dash?
Well, like having a goggler for a pet.
Building these platforms was so expensive, they'd run out of budget for guardrails.
This should be the end of the level. I think. Oh, new enemy. Enchanters can buff and heal enemies. Buffed ravens are very dangerous.
And there was Zenobia, wearing the white robes of surrender.
She's no
She
Carmelita.
came and kneeled before him.
Isn't
Why
that-
didn't you listen to me? I was trying to save you too.
Isn't that a
You're
reference
the
to
enemy,
Ratchet and Clank?
you said.
Or not
I
Ratchet and
was
Clank.
never your enemy,
Sly
Renato.
Cooper?
Then she spoke a terrible word and made a gesture with her hand. She stopped moving, covered in frost, and he wondered why she'd frozen herself. Then the Sky Ripper froze, and then, for a moment, he felt very cold and discovered that he couldn't move. The next thing he knew, the sun was a giant, monstrously red. It took up half the sky, and he was in a parched red desert. And then he was on fire.
Renato stared
die?
at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way.
It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing. Zenobia still had feelings for him.
I just realized something. These are all linked to the first option. And then these are all linked to the second option, which leads to a truth, I think.